Ever pour your heart into an Instagram post, craft the perfect caption, hit share, and then crickets. Just watch it sink. So frustrating, right? You're definitely not alone there. That's exactly why in this deep dive, we're tackling how to get your Instagram content seen, how to boost your reach in 2025, and, fast. We've looked at a whole bunch of insights to figure out what really moves the needle. And actually, speaking of boosting things, if you are looking to give your profiles a bit of an edge, you might want to check out rapidboost.net. They've got services designed to help, increase visibility. But yeah, our mission today is really to get past those surface level tips. We want to give you strategies that actually work for Instagram's success this year.
Exactly. We're not just uh, rehashing the same old advice. We want to dive into let's say, the details of what's driving visibility right now. And well, the first place we absolutely have to start is understanding how the algorithm actually works in 2025. Because,
Yeah.
the simple chronological feed, that's long gone. We're deep into the era of AI-powered personalization now.
Okay, let's really get into that. So it's not just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. Instagram's AI is actively trying to figure out what each person individually wants to see. Like it's predicting things.
That's a really good way to put it, yeah. This AI, it uses pretty sophisticated machine learning to anticipate what's going to grab someone's attention. It prioritizes content that doesn't just get likes, but stuff that sparks conversation, keeps people watching longer, and crucially, gets genuinely shared. Like imagine a travel creator posts a reel about some hidden gems, maybe restaurants in Tokyo. If that reel really holds people's attention, gets a lot of shares, the algorithm might start showing it to people interested in food, obviously, but maybe also Japanese culture or just lifestyle travel. Even if they don't follow the creator, the AI is making connections, connections we might not even think of.
And what really jumps out at me is the huge emphasis on video. It feels like if you're not doing video, you're kind of missing the boat.
That's a very accurate take, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Instagram has definitely signaled a strong preference for video, especially short-form video. Reels are still, king when it comes to engagement and reach. Actually, some early data from this year, 2025, shows Reels are shared, wait for it, 76% more often than static photo posts. 76%. And short-form videos in general, they get about 45% more reach on average. So, yeah, if discovery is your goal, a solid video strategy isn't really optional anymore. It's essential.
And it sounds like it's not just about creators working alone in their little bubbles either. Collaboration is a big deal now.
Oh, absolutely. The algorithm's getting smarter about recognizing and rewarding collaborations. That means like direct partnerships, sure, but also things like remixing content using features like duets. It creates this powerful network effect. When you collab or someone remixes your reel, it exposes your stuff to their audience and potentially their audience's connections too. It just amplifies your reach.
Okay, so the takeaway here isn't some secret hack or, one weird trick. It sounds more like a holistic approach, blending good content, real engagement, and smart connections.
Precisely. Yeah, holistic is a good word. So now that we've sort of unpacked the algorithm a bit, let's dive into the actual content creation tactics. What's working for organic discovery right now?
Storytelling. I feel like that's gone from being like a nice bonus to absolutely essential. Just posting nice photos doesn't seem to cut it anymore, does it?
You've hit on something really crucial there. Yeah. In 2025, content that tells a story, that weaves a narrative, that's what really grabs people and keeps them watching. So think about maybe episodic reels, keep people coming back for the next part, or really authentic behind-the-scenes stuff, even just captions that share a real story. There's this example, GoStyle, a clothing brand. They started turning customer reviews into these like mini movie reels, and they saw a 300% jump in profile visits. 300% in just 2 months. That's the power of good storytelling.
Wow. Okay. And visually, I mean, there's so much stuff flying past. You've got to grab attention instantly, right?
Yeah.
That first second or two.
Instantly is the key word, yeah. Visual innovation is super important. You got to stand out. So think about bold thumbnails, maybe some subtle motion graphics, definitely using on-screen text effectively so people get the message even with the sound off. Look at someone like Lila Eats, the food creator. She uses these really interesting camera angles, text overlays on her cooking tutorials. It just makes her content pop in a really crowded feed.
And what about trends, like micro trends, challenges? Seems like a fast track to visibility, but you got to be quick, right?
Now, speed is everything with those.
Yeah.
Tools like Trend Talk, even Instagram's own Trend Explorer, they can help you spot what's bubbling up, hashtags, audio, remix formats. But the trick is jumping on it early, doing it in your own authentic way before, everyone is doing it and it gets saturated. There was that beauty influencer who almost tripled her engagement in like 48 hours just by nailing the one-day makeup swap trend at the right moment. Timing is key.
Interesting. And you mentioned earlier that likes aren't the be-all and end-all. It sounds like saves and shares are way more important to the algorithm now. Why is that?
Yeah, saves and shares are like super signals to the algorithm. They indicate that your content provides real value, that it resonates deeply. When someone saves your post, they're basically saying, this is useful, I want to come back to this. When they share it, they're actively vouching for it to their network. That's huge. So creating stuff that people want to save or share, infographics, tutorials, checklists, valuable tips, that's really smart. And honestly, don't be afraid to actually ask people to save or share. A simple little nudge like, save this recipe for later, or share this if you found it helpful, can really work.
This is great stuff. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Hashtags, keywords, SEO. That sounds almost like, well, like Google. Is Instagram really becoming a search engine?
In many ways, yes. It's definitely evolving into a major discovery platform beyond just the feed. People are using the search bar way more often. They're looking for inspiration, information, products. It really is like a visual Google. So being visible in search, super important now. And that means thinking about keyword optimization within your posts. Instagram's tech analyzes your caption text, obviously. But get this, it also analyzes the words you say in your videos. Voice recognition. So you need to naturally weave relevant keywords like, say, vintage streetwear haul Italy 2025 into your captions and actually say those keywords in your reels or stories.
Wow, okay, voice recognition too. That's a game changer. What about hashtags then? I remember the advice used to be like, use 30, max them out. Has that changed?
Well, yeah, completely changed. That strategy of just like spraying tons of generic hashtags doesn't really work anymore. It can even look spammy. The data now actually shows that using fewer, think maybe 4 to 6 highly relevant niche hashtags performs way better for discoverability, like 64% better according to one study. It's quality over quantity. So instead of just hashtag fitness, you'd use something more specific like hashtag hit workout 2025 or maybe hashtag fit over 40 women. Get specific.
Right, niching down to reach the right audience, not just any audience. Okay, and the Explore page. Suggested Reels. Getting featured there feels like winning the lottery. How do you boost your chances?
High engagement right after you post is crucial, especially those saves and shares we talked about. If your post gets a lot of saves and shares quickly, it signals to the algorithm, hey, people really like this, maybe we should show it to more people. That's why those little calls to action like, share this with a friend who needs this, can be so effective. They encourage that early engagement burst that the algorithm loves.
And it's not just about staying inside the Instagram bubble, right? Promoting content elsewhere helps too.
Totally. Think about cross-promotion. Embed your reels on your blog. Share snippets on LinkedIn or maybe Twitter. Link to your Instagram stories from TikTok. Driving traffic to your Instagram from outside sources. That's a positive signal for the algorithm. It shows your content has value beyond just the platform itself.
Okay, so you've done the work, people are discovering you. But discovery is just step one, right? How do you actually keep them around, build that loyalty? That's the community part.
Exactly. Getting found is great, but turning those viewers into like real fans, loyal followers, that's the long game. That's essential for sustainable growth. And the algorithm definitely rewards accounts that build strong communities and foster genuine interaction.
So not just counting likes, it's about actual conversations in DMs and comments?
Yeah, precisely. Responding thoughtfully to DMs, using interactive stickers in stories like Q&As, actually engaging in comments with real replies.
Yeah.
It all matters. There was this consultant who saw a 40% increase in client leads just by making a point of moving comment discussions into DMs for, more personal chat.
And user-generated content, UGC, getting your audience to create stuff about you, that seems super powerful.
Oh, it's incredibly valuable. Yeah. It's like the ultimate social proof. So think about running hashtag challenges, maybe reposting customer stories, featuring testimonials. We saw a skincare brand boost their follows by like 27% in a month just by creating a stories highlight featuring follower videos showing their real results. It builds trust and community like crazy.
And those interactive things in stories, polls, quizzes, AMAs, are they just for fun, or do they actually help with discovery too?
Both, really. They're great for engaging your current audience, making things more fun, definitely. But they also increase what we call stickiness. They keep people interacting with your content longer. And the algorithm definitely notices that longer engagement time.
Right. Okay, let's talk collaborations and partnerships, tapping into other people's audiences.
Yeah, collaborations are like a fast track to new, relevant eyeballs. Look for creators whose audience is similar to yours, but maybe not identical. Adjacent niches. Then you can do joint reels, Co-host an Instagram Live, maybe even do account takeovers for a day. Like that fitness coach and nutritionist teaming up for wellness content, perfect example. They both benefit from follower cross-pollination.
And it doesn't have to be huge celebrities, right? You mentioned micro-influencers, even nano-influencers.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of smaller creators with really engaged niche audiences. Lots of brands are finding they get better results, more clicks, more qualified leads, working with micro-influencers compared to one massive campaign, like that boutique coffee brand example. They got more bang for their buck with the micros. Their followers really trust their recommendations.
And joining in on remix and duet trends, is that a legit strategy?
It definitely can be, yeah. When you remix someone's reel or duet their video, Instagram often notifies the original creator's followers, so it's another way to potentially get your profile in front of a whole new audience that might be interested in your stuff. That comic artist who quadrupled reel shares by jumping on a duet train shows it can work really well.
Okay, almost there.
Yeah.
Finally, you've really hammered home tracking performance, using tools, analyzing the data.
You absolutely have to measure if you want to improve. You can't just guess. Really dig into Instagram's own enhanced insights for reels, stories, carousels. Look beyond likes. Track your saves, your shares, where your reach is coming from as it Gangso. Explore hashtags, profile visits. Where do people drop off in your videos? Use that data to tweak your strategy, do more of what works, less of what doesn't.
And even small things like when you post can make a difference, and you can test that.
Totally. Use Instagram's Compare Posts feature. A/B test stuff. Try different formats, different captions, different posting times. Remember that beverage company?
Yeah.
Doubled their reach just by shifting their real posting time to 8 a.m. based on when their audience was actually active. Data matters.
Okay, so this has been a lot, but super valuable. If you had to boil it down for everyone listening, what's the essential 5-step blueprint for boosting Instagram discovery right now?
All right, here's your 5-step Instagram discovery blueprint for 2025. Ready? 1. Audit your current stuff. Find your winner's highest reach, saves, shares. See the patterns. 2. Map out a 30-day content plan. Mix it up trending reels, story carousels, maybe a collab. Give each piece a goal. 3. Optimize everything for discovery. Niche hashtags, target keywords remember, written and spoken, and clear calls to save or share. 4. Engage like crazy. Respond to DMs, comments, encourage UGC, run interactive stories, build that community. And 5. Monitor your data weekly. Track performance, double down on what's working, experiment, and adjust. And yeah, like we said earlier, if you want to speed things up, platforms like rapidboost.net can offer that sort of data-driven help.
It really feels like the core question has shifted, doesn't it? It's less, how do I get discovered, and more like, how do I become, unmissable?
Exactly. That's the perfect way to frame it. Success on Instagram now, in 2025, it really boils down to a mix. It's creative storytelling, smart SEO and algorithm optimization, strategic collabs, and just relentless community building.
Yeah, the algorithm will keep changing. It always does. But those core things, quality, being authentic, putting your audience first, those are timeless. They'll stick around.
So the challenge for you listening is dive into your analytics, start optimizing with those keywords and niche tags, look for collabs, and really nurture your community.
And maybe leave you with this thought to chew on. Beyond just getting views or likes, what's the unique story that only you can tell? What's the thing that won't just get you noticed, but will actually leave a real lasting impression on your audience?